Hello, this is Sandra Brown of Happiness Past 60. I started a little tomato seedling and it's been growing so fast. I'm going to put it into a cup and I'll show you how to start the seedling. The best way to do it to get it to grow lots of roots, which is very important. This is my little Aerogarden that I got as a gift. And I like it so much, I'm just gonna probably end up getting a bigger one. I don't know, we'll find out. But this is the basil, which it was so big I had to I've cut it down twice and saved the leaves for cooking. And that seed came with this. 3 seeds came with it. The one for the ripe pod, let's see here. And then that was the middle one. And this one on the left, it didn't come up at first. So I had a tomato seed that I had saved from last year for the Mortage leftover tomatoes, which I highly recommend. And I put a seed in there, and as you can see, it's just such a nice little seedling. And I'm gonna plant it today and show you how to do it so that you have a good growth. Okay, hold on a minute here. Okay, I went to the dollar store and I got these plastic cups. And in the bottom, we got a drill. And you can put several of them together. I put 3 or 4 of them together and drill them at the same time. Put holes in the bottom for drainage. A bag of potting soil. And I put it up about, well, I don't know how full that is. It's about up to here. And the reason I put it that high is the roots on this little seedling are pretty long, as you're gonna see. So I'm gonna go wet the soil now. Okay, the soil is good and wet. I ran the water in and let it soak down, because sometimes you think it's really moist and it's not when you feel in the middle of it. And I set it in this little dish because you don't want it to drain all over, because that water comes out pretty quick. I'm just grabbing something. I'm going to use this to make a hole in the soil to put my roots in. It's the Sharpie, the big fat ones. Okay, I'm going to have to stop. This is the hole that I've made. I've made it pretty deep because, as I said, my roots are pretty long. All right, look how long this root is. So, okay, I'm gonna need this plastic part, so I'm gonna have to take the plastic off and keep that potting little pot inside there. Okay, I'll show you when I got it done. All right, I'm trying to film this with one hand. It's not easy, but I found if you kind of turn it over and tap the bottom, it comes right out of this plastic. Okay, so that's going to be dropped down. Okay, there it is. So this is what you're going to do, and this will drop it right down into this hole that we made. Okay, I got to stop it long enough to do this. All right, now I'm looking at it after I dropped it in. I see I'm going to need a little bit more soil just to cover it up to where that little pod that was grown in is. All right, so I added just a tiny bit more soil to it and wet it. Now, you're probably wondering, now, why don't you fill this cup up with soil? Because actually, this tomato plant is going to take off growing. And as it does, every bit of soil that touches that branch, the stem, is going to grow roots. So then I'll just keep adding soil till it gets to the top of the cup. Because that way you have a good root system, because that is where this tomato plant is going to get all of its nourishment. So what you're going to have left when you're done is this little plastic thing. And then I have refills for that soil looking stuff that I just popped out of there. I'll show you. But then I can use it again in this hole and start some more seeds. All right, and this is the refills that you'll get. There's a bunch of these. I think they're called seed pods replacements. And they also come with these little tags, and I wrote on here mortgage lifter because that's the name of the tomato. And it also comes with the tweezers for the seeds. And this is what you've seen me take the plant out of. Now I'll replace it with this pod. Drop it right in there. And you're thinking, well, it's too little. Well, it's not, because there's water inside of here. And when the water gets in there, it expands like a sponge. So just pop it right back in there. And there's a little hole in the middle of that pod, right in there. That's where you drop your seed. And then after dropping your seed, you put this little cone over the top of it like that. But that's what this tweezer is for, to put the seed in there. It's a lot of fun, especially in the winter, you know, when you're so anxious to have some plants to mess around with. And this I have the seed in this one. I just planted, but I looked inside and the pod is already starting to break open. The seed is, so that's another tomato plant in there. So this one, the basil, is got the big old roots. So I'm gonna get, I think, a little clay pot, terracotta pot, and put it in that. Okay, you guys, I'll put a link for the Aerogarden and also for the sponge seed pod, the replacements. So have fun growing stuff, and I hope to be able to even show you the tomatoes. Oh, they're wonderful. Okay, bye-bye. This is just a little addition, but I got these dwarf zinnias at the dollar store. So it's just a quarter for the package. And I put them in this middle one. I lost, I'm telling you not to lose, I lost one of these cups. I can't find it, the plastic ones. So, you know, they need that moisture for them to sprout. And like I say, the tomato seed, another tomato seed's in here. But from the K cup, I used that. So I just, you know, peeled off the top of it and just rinsed it out and put it on there. And those tweezers work great for putting the seed in. Wow, because they were kind of small seeds. So it'd be a good experiment, because I got a lot of seeds. And just see if that comes up without the light, as well as the one with the light coming through the dome. If it doesn't work, then I'll just cut the bottom of this out and put a little handy wrap on it and rubber band. Where there's a will, there's a way. Hope you enjoyed that. Okay, I had to add a little more. I was thinking I need some good lighting for this tomato plant, because if you don't have good lighting, you know, they get spindly. And another way to, besides the lighting, which to get right back to, but if you have a fan, or I blow on it sometime, or I brush it. When you brush it, it's kind of being outside, and they get that wind and things that causes them to be strong. So yeah, every once in a while, give it a little brush. It causes them to be a little thicker, stronger stem. Anyways, I thought I had lost this in the move, but I had this grow light. I can show you from underneath. And it's flexible. You can bend it any way you want, and it clamps. It's hard sometimes trying to find a place to clamp it, but this table is going to work out great. And it's going to be right next to my Aerogarden when these seeds pop up. And I've got the basil, which is in the middle and taking up so much. You know, I found out one thing. Don't leave your seedlings in there too long, because the roots get so big. I kind of tucked the tomato plant roots in, but I had to cut off piles of the roots. of the basil before I could get it out of that little plastic thing. So yeah, don't leave it in there too long. It's good for a sprouting season. Or I could have left it in there and just have that garden during the winter, and you can grow your herbs. It'll be fine. So, but yeah, I'm just experimenting. Hope you like that part too.